Well, hello, Young and the Restless daily recap fans, Young and the Restless daily recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, November the 11th, 2022. Wednesday, November the 11th, 2022. Well, to me, there was just a bunch of talking, even though, look, isn't that really what soap operas do? A bunch of talking, but just drug out talking. Like we've got Adam, not Adam, should have been Adam and Sharon, but Billy and Sharon talking about Chelsea's going to be released from the 72 hole today. And, Billy's like, I don't think it's a good idea for her to go back to the Grand Phoenix. And Sharon is like, me either. And he's like, we've got to find a place for Chelsea. And miraculously, Sharon says, hey, I have a great idea. Mariah and Tessa are moving to the tack house on the ranch. Okay. That's Nick's old place. Nick and Phyllis used to live there. Nick lived there alone when he left tack house. Originally, that tack house Victoria lived in first, right? But Nick and Phyllis lived there. Then it was Nick's for a long time. And then it was empty. Now, my whole thing, and I asked this months ago. Now, yes, Adam moved out of the main house when he had a falling out with the Newmans, but he left Connor there. Why did Adam not take Connor to the tack house, still on the Newman Ranch property? After school, he could still go to the main house where all the staff is really taking care of him anyway. But at night, Adam would have a place to go. Connor would have a place, his own place, their own place together. Instead of Adam staying in a hotel room, he's still in the Grand Phoenix. I don't get that. But anyway, Nikki and Victor offered the tack house to Mariah and Tessa. And I thought, now Victor and Nikki always treated Cassie like she was a Newman because Nick adopted her. She was Cassie Newman. Mariah, they never truly, not that they didn't accept her as family, but if they're having a family gathering, I honestly don't think they would think of inviting Mariah. So, okay, you know, but anyway, they offered them the tack house. So Sharon said, the apartment is free. And so she goes, I think it would be perfect for Chelsea. And Billy's like, wow, that's a great idea. She goes, I mean, if Chelsea wants to, if she'd like it. So Adam goes to see Chelsea and they're talking and she lets him know she's being released. She was packing up her stuff and he goes, are you sure you're ready? So soon, are you sure you're ready? Now, remember, it was a good day or more before they even told Adam where Sharon was, right? So for him, he's thinking so soon when it really isn't that soon. And she's going to continue on a outpatient basis with the doctor. She and the doctor get along very, very well. Great doctor. I actually like this doctor. She needs to be everybody's shrink on the show. Sharon seems to be everybody's shrink, but this doctor's pretty good. I really like her demeanor and just her whole style, right? So Chelsea says, yes, the doctor feels I'm ready. I feel I'm ready. Haven't had any negative thoughts, And so should have had some water over here. So she says, and I'm gonna tell Connor, because Adam says, good Connor. She goes, I really want to see Connor. And Adam's like, yes, and he really misses you a lot. And so she says, I'm it's going to be difficult, but I need to tell him what happened. And Adam's like, well, wait, I think it's too soon. And Chelsea's like, no, he needs to know the whole truth because when is it not going to be too soon? And before he hears it from anyone else. And Adam's kind of like, well, who else would he hear it from? But she said, no, Adam. He goes, no, Chelsea, I've been with him and I just don't feel he's ready. I feel he's going to blame himself for what happened to you. And so she goes, but not if he's told properly, and the doctor feels that Connor should be told right away. He is old enough, right? Not the gory details, but that I found myself in a place to where I needed to go and get some help, right? So he goes, I don't know, Chelsea, you need to trust me on this. So she says, well, and they both kind of not agreed to disagree, but the doctor came. And the doctor, because Adam had said something about, well, I think we should talk to the doctor about it. And she goes, well, I already have. And the doctor fills his time. And so when the doctor came in and said, Chelsea, it's time for your final session, to me, Adam should have said, doctor, can we take a portion of the beginning of the session to talk about, while I'm here, to talk about what's best for our son? And the doctor would have said yes, right? But Adam leaves kind of a little broody-ish, not broody, not because he's really very cognitive of the attitude he's putting out for Chelsea, but in his mind, he's thinking, wait a minute, no, I don't think that's a good idea. Goes to the coffee house, and there's Sharon and Billy, that's where they're talking about, ooh, this apartment for Chelsea. And Adam comes in, and Sharon sees him, so she goes, hey, Adam, come on over. So we were just talking about Chelsea. She's being released. He goes, yeah, I know. I just left there. The doctor's going to have a session with her, final session with her. And he goes, I don't know. I mean, she wants to tell Connor what happened. And I feel it's too soon to tell Connor what happened. And Sharon says, really? Well, what does the doctor feel? What does the doctor say? And so he goes, Chelsea says the doctor says that, Connor should be told, in the right way. And she goes, Adam's like, I just don't know if she's in the mental space to tell him in the right way. And in my mind, I'm thinking, that's why you better be there, buddy, right? Don't let it be Billy. That should be Chelsea, Connor, Adam. Chelsea, Connor, Adam. Possibly Sharon, but definitely not Billy. And the only reason I'm saying possibly Sharon has been Connor's therapist. Remember when Connor was going through that dark time? And look, Connor was little child of goodness, I don't know what from. He was woo. So, but we'll see how they're going to handle that. And so Billy says, yeah, but what is your concern? Because, we have to think about what's best for Chelsea. And Adam looked at him and said, no, what's best for Chelsea is always on my mind. But first and foremost, what's best for Connor, because he's a child. And Billy just stood there because I thought, no. Shall we bring Johnny in? Shall we have Chelsea sit down and tell Johnny what happened? Should we do that? What would you say, Billy? But because it's Adam's son, Billy has no objectivity and is so willing to interject himself into it and feel like I'm some type of authority in that. And so Adam said, Sharon, what are your professional feelings? And she said, professionally, Connor should be told, and told in an age appropriate way, because he has been wondering, where has his mother been? Right? So he should be told, right? So then Adam's like, okay, I could kind of see that. So he goes, Billy, can I speak to you? So they go on the patio. They did not go to blows, and Billy initially was defensive as usual. And Adam said, no, I just want to personally thank you for being there for Chelsea, for saving her. I want to thank you for that. And Billy didn't almost not know how to take that. Oh, well, okay, And then Adam point blank said, what are your plans? What's your objective here with you being so personally involved with Chelsea's life? Like, kind of what's going on? Because trust me, all these years, Johnny is what, 12 now, maybe 13, because they're aging him. Billy's never been there for Chelsea in 13 years. ever, right? So Billy gave some reason. Well, I'm just helping out, and I'm here, blah blah blah, and I'm not gonna let whatever. It's like you have nothing to do, Billy's, because you have nothing to do. So, and while Adam was there, he says, "I'll come back, Chelsea, after your appointment to, pick you up and take you out." She goes, "No, I've already got some friends volunteered to do that." And he goes, "Oh, who?" She goes, Sharon is gonna come pick me up, and I think Billy's coming with her." And that's when Adam was kind of like, "Oh, okay, So anyway, guess who shows up to pick Chelsea up? Sharon walks in the room first. The therapy session was just ending with the doctor. Sharon says, "Oh my goodness, I hope I'm not interrupting." She goes, "No, no, no, we're just finished up." Chelsea has all her final instructions. And then Billy came walking in, and Chelsea's like, "Billy, you came." And he goes, of course I'd be here." So the doctor told Chelsea, "I will see you, like next week, or, let's follow the schedule that's been given to you." And Chelsea's like, of course, of course. So then the doctor, Sharon says, "Okay, Chelsea, you know what? You ready to go?" And Chelsea said, "Well, there's only one problem. I don't have a place to go to, because I really don't want to go back to the Grand Phoenix." No, they're like, "No, no, of course not. Of course not." So Sharon says, "Well, you know what?" She goes, I guess I need you guys to take me to a place that has some Wi-Fi, and I'll start apartment hunting, something that's affordable. Could be temporary, because I just want it for right now. Because I'm thinking, I know could be temporary, because um guess what? You sold Adam's penthouse to Nate, so you should definitely have a free one, right? Should definitely have it. So, I mean, not a free one. You should definitely have money in your bank account, enough to either buy something, right? That was a penthouse she sold. She could have buy a little place like Billy and Lily have. Ooh, I shouldn't say that, because what apartment, what unit, a townhome unit, was right next door to where Billy and Lily are staying now? This is a little Y&R trivia. Can anybody remember what unit is next door? Now, it was sold, but Summer's old unit that she gave to Phyllis. Remember when Billy and Phyllis were together and they had broken up? Billy bought the unit next to Phyllis just so he could play the music loud and kind of bug her. Oh, Chelsea would be too close for comfort if somehow she bought Phyllis's old unit, or whoever had it after Phyllis, and she bought that unit. That would be a hot mess. But speaking of units and living accommodations, is Phyllis still staying at the hotel even though she sold it? We don't know, huh? That's interesting. Would she stay at the Grand Phoenix and be a paying guest after owning that hotel? She should have made some kind of deal with Chancellor Winter, saying, hey, I get a suite for free for a year at least, something like that. But look, that's off topic, right? That's off topic. So anyway, Chelsea, the sheriff says, "Okay, let's do that. Let's go find you some Wi-Fi." So they take her to the coffee house, and Chelsea's like, "Okay, well, why are we here?" And Sharon says, "Well, that's why we want to talk to you. I want to tell you, why you're here." And then she brought up the fact that Mariah and Tessa have moved to the ranch in the tack house. "My apartment upstairs is empty. I would like to offer it to you." And Chelsea looked, and she was just stunned, completely like taken aback, because there's been just horrible history between Sharon and Chelsea. Horrible because of the whole Adam back and forth. Sharon has come between Chelsea and Adam more than once, probably more than 3 times. It's been Sharon messing up Chelsea's relationship. Needing Adam, needy, going through her episodes, needy, and Adam dropping everything for Sharon, right? So, but look, that was in the past. Chelsea's done her dirt to Sharon too. Like, look, at latest, Sharon don't know. Chelsea was fantasizing about her husband. She wanted Ray for herself. But anyway, Chelsea stood up and she hugged Victoria. She was like, I can't believe that you are doing this for me. Thank you. And it was an actual genuine hug. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, genuine hug. So they take her up to the place, and it looks so empty now that Mariah and Tessa's stuff is all gone. In my mind, I'm looking at the walls and everything. I'm like, girl, Sharon, you couldn't have put a coat of paint on this place? Geez, spruce it. Do something, make it sellable, man, or rentable, but okay. Chelsea have to throw her stuff in and hide a bunch of them walls and all that good stuff. But Chelsea says, oh, I guess this is my new place, because they never really said, but she goes, there's enough room for Connor. So I was kind of wondering, was that place a 2-bedroom place? But you know why I don't think it was a 2-bedroom place? Because remember when Elena was living with, oh my goodness, Ray's sister. Why is it I can't think of Ray's sister's name? Oh my goodness. Well, you know who I'm talking about. Okay, in the comment corners, please. Elena moved in with Rosa was the mother, I think. What was Arturo was the brother. Why I can't think of his sister, I don't know. But when Elena moved in with her, Elena had to sleep on the couch, because that's a 1-bedroom place. But I guess temporary for right now, Connor could sleep on the couch, right now, period. So anyway, Sharon is gonna live there. She goes, I guess this is my new place, So that was that, and they got Sharon settled. The only other thing that happened is we had this blah blah between Chelsea and Chloe is back. So now Chloe's gonna find out about Chelsea, because Chelsea told the doctor, I need to tell my best friend Chloe what happened. So it's Chloe and Sally again. They're wanting to do their fashion all over again. And so they run into Nick at the park, or Chloe may have even asked Nick to come to the park, right? And Chloe makes the pitch, even though Sally wasn't. Like, they were talking about, what do we want to do? They were putting stuff in a bucket, what they should do. She didn't know that Chloe already had it in mind what we should do. And Nick offered to float them alone to get their fashion house started again. Well, of course he would. He got all that money back from Phyllis from the Grand Phoenix. He was never expecting that back. That was something Phyllis never really ever had to pay that back. And so, okay, he's like, I got this money. I just got back. I believe in you too. He says, I never would have ever fired you from Newman to begin with. So Sally's like, but no, like, I don't want to take from, no, And so she tells Chloe, look, Nick and I haven't even defined what we are. I don't want that in the middle of it. She goes, look, it don't have to be in the middle of it. This is business. We were good at the fashion part. You are a phenomenal designer. We can do this. And it's in a field we know. And it's like what Chloe was telling Nick. We already have brand recognition in fashion. So it's better than what we had to start from scratch learning media. So anyway, Nick's like, I think it's a good idea. But initially, Chloe was kind of making it like, well, could you talk to maybe Marchetti for us? And Nick says, you know what? I'm going to tell you right now. My daughter, that's her thing. And I won't get in the middle of it. I won't get involved with it, especially since I know how she would feel about Sally. He goes, I won't do that. That's not, I won't put that in the midst of our relationship. He said, however, that's what he said. I would invest in it. I would give you a loan to start your fashion house. So that's going to end up being what's going to happen. Although it's interesting, unless Jill comes with a offer for Sally for Chancellor, I would rather see Chloe and Sally end up at Chancellor Industries than Chancellor Winters than doing their own fashion house. I would really rather see that, because once Chloe finds out that Chelsea tried to kill herself, she's going to now try to take it upon herself to find something for Chelsea to do. And Chelsea and Sally do not mix. So hopefully Chloe does not try to go down that road again at all. At all. So anyway, we'll see. I honestly don't know if that which way it's going to go, because Jill was interested genuinely. And I don't know that Sally really wants to do fashion right now. I don't know if she's in the headspace for creativity like that right now. So we'll see where they're going to go with that. But that pretty much was it for The Young and the Restless. Nothing else happened on the show. Let's go to Comment Corner. Comment Corner. We only have a couple of comments here, or actually maybe one comment here. It's from Libby. Libby says, I suddenly got an idea that Audra might have her own plans with one or both of these companies. She might try to run a scam on Tucker. You know why I say that's a no? Audra does nowhere near have enough money to pull off anything on her own. She would need major backing. She would have to have the backing of Newman Enterprises to take on Tucker. She couldn't all on her own. Diane's acting was fantastic when she dismissed the three hyenas suspicions. I was almost on her side. Then she did a poor, pitiful me routine, and that all evaporated. Yes, she sure did. When she left there, she ran right into Jack's office, looking at a chair. Oh. So then she comes out, I need to speak to you on her cell phone. Oh my goodness, Diane. And then Libby also says, I think they need to rename Chancellor Park and call it the Park of Uncomfortable Meetups. Aside from Chance proposing to Abby, which was so weird because they were practically shouting across the park at each other because of the COVID restrictions. Remember when the show first came back on the air, you know, people did way more social distancing. They really didn't have kissing scenes at all, right? It says, nothing good ever happens at that park. And when you said that, Libby, I started thinking, has any good stuff happened? Well, they did have little Dominic's first-year-old birthday party. That went without a hitch at the park, I think. Yeah. There've been some minor good things at that park. I just really couldn't think of a lot of them. You're like 80% right about nothing good happens at Chancellor Park. But one thing the doctor did tell Chelsea, she said, choose a place when you're talking to Connor that he's comfortable with, and a place that he would feel comfortable feeling the way he feels, and he will feel comfortable expressing himself. Now, everybody, if they take that boy to the park to tell him, I'm going to scream, just so you know. I'm going to scream. That's not a place that he's going to feel comfortable. Now, he lives on the Newman Ranch. You tell him at the ranch. If you don't want to tell him in the living room because you may not want Nikki or Victor to walk in, tell him at the horses stables as you guys are looking at the horses. The Newman Ranch has this beautiful lake in it, right? go to the lake and sit, almost like a little picnic, and sit down and talk to Johnny. But don't take him to Chancellor Park, everybody. Because see, and I said, Johnny, talk to Connor. Because anybody can walk up. And you don't want that. So now he's got to look up and say, take me home. I want to go home. No, he should be home. He should be home. So that's my thoughts on that, everybody. That is it for the Young and the Restless today. I will be back tomorrow, but you know what? On Thursday, nothing good ever happens on Thursday. So we shall see if anything good happens on Thursday, but I will be back.